I'm just going to take that from like this wide angle to the personal and talk about the more nuanced way in which you can feel the land as a parent. So I'll kind of explain also why I'm here in Lebanon as well in the first place. So the story is that I was adopted at a young age, okay? But the biggest part of my bloodline is from Damascus. Are you my sister? Because I don't know. I've had this longing, you know, for Damascus. Anybody who is adopted will know that it's a lifelong scramble for identity. You're constantly kind of trying to understand whether you're more defined by nature or nurture. And there's only really one way to find out, and it's to come closer to the unknown, to that which you didn't know. So I started coming here to Lebanon. And people would ask me, okay, so are you trying to find your blood father? And I was like, no, because one, I actually have a great dad who raised me, okay? But also, two, that man cannot be my father. But I feel like Damascus might. But the closer you get to something such as this, the further away you feel, you know? And particularly in times like this, I feel very distant, very far away from the Syrian experience, of course. And that was made most clear to me last year when I met somebody. And I tell you, he sounded just like me. Now, I had never met someone who sounded just like me, like he did. His voice was a park swing in the sunshine. And my fat toddler legs poked through the holes in the seat, and I giggled free as I swung, hair trailing like smoke behind me, eyes up to the sky. His voice was birds flying in formation to fresh climes. Wings spread, they did nothing but glide. He sounded just like me. But he said things that I could never say. He spoke of bombs and war and children who know nothing but all the terror they've seen, and I spoke not of those things. It was nightfall between cobbled streets at a pub in a village between hills of green, northern England. Now, I was introduced to him because we were both Syrian. He said, oh, we always find each other, don't we? What did he mean? I had been searching for him in places that he did not hide. The olive of my skin crouched under the white, sheepish to claim his heritage as mine. There's a baby in the corner of the pub, wrapped in blankets, while its mother smokes a spliff with the midwife out in the street. A farmer's daughter asks my voice where he's from. Syria. Is followed by silence. It's funny how the world goes quiet when talking of places where noise won't cease. It's that uneasy laugh in exchange for the kind of scream that begs back to life, a child crushed by the house of her mother's old dreams. We squished and tugged at the word safe, as if it were Play-Doh and he were the father that I only know by name. Safe is West Aleppo, where there are gunshots freckling the walls. The tun-tun-tun of machine guns marked out a dado rail, unlike the one in the hallway of my mum's home, where dust won't settle long enough before she's hoovering the stairs and polishing the phone. No, it is safe, he says, because East Aleppo no longer has walls to mark. The bombs pulled down homes built by the same hands that shed ma'mool between those stones, and you wonder why they won't leave? This clay was made of pride and dignity. It shivered when brought to its knees. He spoke to me of bullets, that skimmed the back of his friends as they talked casually. Well, what is another bullet at times like these? He spoke like me. Like the way that my words linger in the gaps between themselves, like we're holding notes. Every breath contains the songs our ancestors wrote. He spoke like me, but he said words that I could never say. He spoke of children who had been raised by war. They think that the rat-a-tat-tat of gunfire is normal because normal is the easiest thing to believe. Because normal is what you always see, and it's normal that teaches you how to be. He was charming. Almost more charming than me. His eyes were a deep Syrian green, and I fell pregnant with an identity I've always been. I am a seed of Syria that blew to the west and grew like the crabapple tree, but my fruit is of Syria. I laugh with Syria. I sound like Syria. I cry for Syria, but how dare I cry at all? He sounds like me until he speaks the language that I don't speak. And then I watched him leave.